Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another review of Crash Course in Romance. Let me say this first before I begin. Leaked school materials, students dying, crazy moms. History is repeating for ChiYeol, and I feel so bad for the guy. And I'm gonna talk about this now because I'm not going to review it. Seeing him go camping with Hangsong's family, just hanging out with them in general, that's what he needed. Because throughout this entire time, he's just been feeling down and down and down to the point where he's almost at rock bottom. All he needs is Isang to get him with a pretty good whatever, and he'll hit rock bottom. But hanging out with Hangsong is what he needed. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's get to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is ChiYeol's past. So username ChiYeol Sucks, aka Isang, left a comment talking about Youngmin's death and relating it to a female student who died 10 years ago, calling this whole thing a curse. Now the female student, her name was Suyeon, by the way, and her death was actually related to another case that was mentioned in the last episode. Remember the cops was talking about the son who killed his mom? That was her family. So the story goes that after Suyeon died, the mom became insane and became obsessed towards the son to the point where she committed suicide right next to the son, and the police arrested the son for murder. So he didn't really commit the crime. And then we get a flashback to the moment Suyeon died. In the first scene, we see her happy and learning, but then in the second scene, we see her down. Apparently, test questions were leaked to her mom, and her mom gave her those questions thinking they were just prep questions for the exam, but no, they were identical. Suyeon turned them in, and ChiYeol was trying to convince the principal or whoever he was to try to fix this mess because he was the one that leaked the questions to Suyeon's mom, but he refused and fired ChiYeol. So this whole time, I thought ChiYeol got fired because Suyeon died. It was actually Suyeon feeling guilty that it was her that got ChiYeol fired, and she committed suicide. Just wow. And history is pretty much repeating itself. Then we get to the cop investigating. So he was looking at the CCTV and noticed something shiny but didn't know what it was until he got a complaint from an elderly woman about somebody shooting metal balls at cats. And then he confronts Hee-jae one day and starts chasing him down, but he got away. So we got some information on who Hee-jae is. He's a shut-in person, pretty much. But he wasn't always like that. It was because of his mom. And lawyer mom and Suyeon's mom have something in common. They're both crazy. Now, it wouldn't be a Crash Course in Romance episode without Suah being very nosy. So in this episode, she found some worksheets on Hae's desk and it's pretty much ChiYeol's lessons. But Sonjae noticed it and confronted her saying, hey, I was the one that lent it to her. But it gets annoying after that. Suya decides to tell her mom that Sonjae is leaking school materials. Her mom is going to talk to Sonjae's mom and there's going to be some chaotic stuff, I know that. But both of them noticed that ChiYeol's car drove by and they were wondering why he's in this neighborhood. So they spied on him, and that's where the episode ends. We finally found out the truth about Suyeon's death, ChiYeol's past with her. We were told one thing, but it was actually a different story. It was pretty much guilt and a dumb action from whatever his position is, whatever his name is. I could call him the principal, I can call him the math leader, whatever, but it was pretty much all his fault. And ChiYeol was just trying to force him to fix it, or convince him to fix it. Now, Suyeon is dead, and it sucks because he can't tell her, hey, it's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault that I got fired. And what ChiYeol needs right now is closure. Even though history is pretty much repeating itself, he needs closure. I adored seeing ChiYeol hanging out with Hangsong's family. It was cute, it was adorable. It's definitely what he needed because he was feeling down the entire time. His whole past with Suyeon, and with the comments talking about Youngmin's death, relating it to Suyeon's death, yeah, it was hitting him pretty hard. So seeing him not deal with anything dark and just relax and have fun, that's what he needed. But again, just like I said before, He needs closure though. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the episode and my review. Is there anything I might have missed? Please leave in the comments below. Other than that, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.